Hello, everyone. This is right after our Thursday live for the week before our New Orleans retreat. And on that video, I was asked to do a tutorial for the Flyway Mystery Within a Mystery. So here I have with me the Flyway Mystery Within a Mystery for Clue 1. And I'm going to show you how to solve it. So, a few things to look at. So, what do we have here? So, it's the logic puzzle. And we have 3 people. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 locations. 1, 2, 3. And then we have 3 weapons with which I think someone was murdered. Yeah. So someone was murdered, and Rosa, or you in this situation, has to solve it. So for this first one, we have 3 people. Our 3 people that we have, first person is the fabric hoarder, Gertrude Minta. Has more fabric than life expectancy allows, but still buys more, quote, just in case. And a few things about her. She is 5'2", left-handed, has hazel eyes and blonde hair. We have our next suspect, Susan Aurora, the precision perfectionist. If those seams aren't exactly a quarter inch, they might just combust. She's 6 foot tall. She's 6 feet tall. Right-handed, has brown eyes and gray hair. And then our third person is Courtney Amanda, the speed quilter. Can piece a king-size quilt in a weekend, but hasn't slept since 2017. She's 5'7", left-handed, brown eyes, and has brown hair. The statistics, such as left-handed brown eye, what hand they use, left or right hand, eye color or hair color, height 2, or their descriptions might come in handy for the clues, so it's important to keep that in mind, as some clues don't directly state the name, but they state characteristics of the name of the character. The descriptions will also come in handy for the weapons and the locations as we move on. So, the locations where the murder could have happened. There's the Gilded Gathering Lounge. It's indoors, which can also be used for clues. The indoors. We have Quilted Heights Terrace, which is outdoors. It's different. And there's the Peaceful Workshops, which is indoors, and the descriptions for them, the Gilded Gathering Lounge. There's a pile of street pins next to a printing press for paper patterns. A lot of P's, alliteration. And then we have for the Quilted Heights Terrace, where you can keep an eye on the entrance and the rooftop pigeons. Why would there be pigeons? I mean, I guess it's a rooftop, but I don't know. Moving on. The Peaceful Workshops. It says the walls are covered with pictures of inspiration for all quilters. So, if there's anything about walls with pictures, that should be where it would be. I guess, yeah. And then finally, our weapons. We have the Binding Edge. It's a hefty tome on quilt bindings, perfect for delivering a knockout blow, and it is medium weight. We have our Quilting Ruler. Long, sturdy, and with sharp edges. Ideal for blocking more than just fabric. And it's lightweight. So it's different than the Binding Edge. And then last but not least, we have our Tailor's Chalk. So it's powdery and throwable. Distract foes with a cloud of chalky confusion. And it is lightweight as well. So next to our clues. There's going to be, I think, 4 clues for each of our mysteries within a mystery. And there's clues and evidence, and then underneath is a reveal that reveals who did it based on the clues and what you have filled in your logic puzzle. Now, our logic puzzle, it is there's 3 3x3 grids, and they're arranged as such. So how this is going to work is we're going to read a clue, and then when we read the clue, we're going to fill in information based on what it says. So let's start with the first clue. How I'm going to denote what happens is if somebody has something, I'm going to put a circle between what they have and the thing that they have or where they were. And if they don't have something, I'm going to put an X. So our first clue. Susan Aurora, so this person, was using the printing press to print her favorite pattern, Seam Ripper's Regret. So this is going to be about Susan Aurora, and she was using her favorite pattern, and there's nothing about patterns in the binding edge. There's nothing about it in the quilting roller or the tailor's chalk, so we know it's not about the weapon. So it's going to be about the location. So then we're going to read the descriptions of the locations. The first one, the Gilded Gathering Lounge. There's a pile of straight pins next to a printing press for paper patterns. And what we see here is that there is a printing press, which was mentioned. She was using the printing press. So that means that Susan Aurora was at the Gilded Gathering Lounge. So now I'm going to put a circle in the column of Susan Aurora and in the row of Gilded Gathering Lounge. So I'm going to put a circle there. And since we know that Susan Aurora could not have been in two locations at once, to simplify this, we're going to put X's in the rest of Susan Aurora's row for this box, because she couldn't have been at the terrace or the workshops if she was at the lounge. So we're going to mark that down. And two people were not in the same place at once. So we're going to put an X in the other spots of the row for the lounge. Now, let's move on to the next clue. I'm going to X that out so we know we've gotten everything from there that we can. Our next clue. Courtney Amanda was afraid of heights, so she had never been to the roof. So since the roof is the quilted heights terrace, we're gonna assume that's what it is, because it's not about the weapons. Nothing here mentions the roof, and this is the closest we have to the roof. We're gonna make a small leap of faith because it's the terrace. So I'm gonna say it is the roof. So it's the roof. And Courtney Amanda had never been to the roof. Therefore, she could not have been to the Quilted Heights Terrace. We're going to mark that down. Courtney Amanda was a speed quilter. She's the 3x3 grid for her block. Courtney Amanda was not on the roof. So now that we've gathered this, we know a few things. Courtney Amanda cannot have gone to either the terrace or the lounge, and there's only one possible spot she could have gone to, that being the Peaceful Workshops. So we're going to mark down a circle there. So Courtney Amanda had to be at the Peaceful Workshops. Now, since only one person could have been at each location, that means no one else could have been at Peaceful Workshops. So we're going to put an X in the other spot for Peaceful Workshops. The pile of pictures. So there's only one spot left in here, and there's only one possible other spot. Only one that Gertrude Minta could have been to. That being the rooftop terrace. So we're going to mark that down with a circle. So now we know where everyone was at the time of the murder. Now we're going to start working on what weapon they had, or what weapon was at each location, because if we know what weapon was at each location and what person was at each location, we know that that person had to have had the weapon. So we're going to cross out that clue, or at least the dot for it, so we know that we've already done it. Now, the next clue is, and I quote, "The binding edge was not in the Peaceful Workshop room." Now, the binding edge is this. It's the book. This is our first mention of the weapons, and it was not in the Peaceful Workshops. So, the binding edge could not have been at the photo location. So we're gonna put an X there. Now, since we know that, in fact, Courtney Amanda was at the Peaceful Workshops, and the binding edge can't be at the Peaceful Workshops, Courtney Amanda could not have had the binding edge. Okay, now that we've gotten that clue, we're going to cross it off. And now, Gertrude Minta, the next clue it says, Gertrude Minta, sorry, I can't read it backwards, had a quilting ruler. So, Gertrude Minta had a quilting ruler. So we're gonna put a circle, and then we're gonna fill in the appropriate amount of X's. So I crossed out the rest in the row because only she could have had it. And since it was the only thing that she had, I crossed everything else off in the column. Now, from that clue, we can see that there's only one person that could have had the binding edge. That person is, of course, Susan Aurora. So we're going to put a circle there, and then we're going to put an X down here because that was the only one she could have had. And I already filled it in, but since it was the only square left, this was the only one that Courtney Amanda could have had. So now that we have finished this box and we know what location each person was at and what weapon they had, we're now going to fill in this box. So we know that Susan Aurora had the binding edge, and we know that Susan Aurora was at the lounge, so logically, quilting edge was at the lounge. I filled in the rest of the X's because the quilting edge could not have been anywhere else, and no one else was in the quilting lounge. Next is, we're going to do Gertrude Minta. She had the quilting ruler and was at the terrace. So the quilting ruler had to have been at the terrace. And then we're going to fill in X's because the quilting ruler was not anywhere else and nothing else was at the terrace. And then finally, there's only one square left and one more circle to be put in. So, logically, since Courtney Amanda had the quilting chalk and was at Peaceful Workshops, the quilting chalk had to have been at Peaceful Workshops. Now I'm going to cross off the clue, and we have filled in every box of our logic puzzle. But now we have to figure out who killed someone, and that's what the clue in bold is. So this is going to give us details about it, and then we're going to use that information to figure out what weapon or what place or who committed the crime, and then we're going to fill in the rest of the details. So it says something was chalky about this crime. It was committed with white chalk. So it was committed with something, so it was a weapon. The binding edge is not chalk. The quilting ruler is not chalk, but the tailor's chalk is chalk. So we know that the murder was committed with the chalk. So we're gonna circle that here. And we know that Courtney Amanda had the chalk, so Courtney Amanda had to have committed the crime. And then Courtney Amanda was also at the Peaceful Workshops, so that's where the crime was committed. And now we will fill in this section according to who did it. Who? Courtney Amanda. With what weapon? Tailor's chalk. And then, where? Peaceful Workshops. Okay, so now you know how to solve these, and I guess that's kind of it. So we know who did the murder, and I guess, yeah, so I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. I'm gonna shamelessly plug, make sure to like and subscribe. I can't think of anything else. So I guess goodbye.
And cut. Thank you so much for watching our video. We have so much fun making these, and we hope that you were both delighted and inspired by what you just watched. This video was sponsored by Cotton Cuts. Cotton Cuts is your one stop for all the best fabric and thread memberships. Love fabric? We've got you covered. Love thread? We've got you covered. We get that no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, which is why our memberships are as unique as you. We also have the largest block of the month in the world. Over 4,000 detectives solve our puzzle mystery quilts every year, and you can join them. Simply go to cottoncuts.com to learn more about all the awesome and fun things that we're doing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to make sure you get all of our new fresh content every time it comes out. Thank you so much. Happy sewing enthusiasts, and we will see you soon. Bye now.